today I'm going to show you the best exercises to help you with delivery based on the Bradley method. So stick around. Welcome back, ladies. My name is Tabitha. I'm here to help all you busy ladies juggling jobs, careers, kiddos with no real time to exercise. I'm going to give you exercise tips, tricks, routines, and even product reviews to help make fitness a part of your life. And today we're going to go over the daily exercises recommended by Dr. Bradley in the Husband Coached Childbirth book that is going to help you have a natural delivery, and it's going to help make delivery easier for you. So this is my first time actually reading this book, and I am totally loving it. I will do a book review, including another book here. I'll link it up above. So if you want to know some books that you should read during your pregnancy, go ahead and check that video out. But in this video, we're going to just talk about these daily exercises. So Dr. Bradley talks about the back, belly, and bottom, the 3 B's that really do support having a natural delivery, which I already understood because I'm really big into postpartum recovery. And I've had women comment on some of my heel diastasis videos wondering why I'm working the glutes out, because your back is a part of your core is your abdominal muscles, and your butt helps actually support your back and core. So it's very, very important. So that is what Dr. Bradley also expresses in this book, the importance of keeping those muscles really, really strong and flexible for delivery. So we're going to go through all the different exercises. Now I'll highlight it because I want to read right from the book for you ladies so you can kind of get a sense of what he's saying. This is in the coach's training rules. So your husband's supposed to remind you to do these books. So do these exercises. So ladies, get husband to read this book. If he won't, then read it yourself. It's so good, but you should read it anyways. Anyhow, let's move on. So the first exercise he recommends every day, and these are simple, they're totally doable, is TAILOR sitting, crisscross applesauce, exactly how I'm sitting right now, which I was mind blown reading this because I love to sit like this. I prefer to sit on the floor as opposed to sitting in a chair. And he talks about in the book how sitting in a chair is actually really bad for you, and it's bad when you think about having a baby, because it tightens up muscles. Not, you guys are fine. Just play. Go. No, he's not. So he explains why sitting in a chair is so bad for you. It really does tighten up your muscles. It doesn't loosen up your hips. It doesn't loosen up those muscles that you need to have loose, but they need to be loose, flexible, and strong at the same time. Yes, honey. They need to be loose and flexible, but strong at the same time in order to help support other muscles, but also to support delivery. So TAILOR sitting, he calls it, or crisscross, kids sitting, Indian style, whatever you grew up calling it, is sitting on the floor with your feet at hip level and leaning slightly forward. This allows your uterus to just relax, fall forward, and open up your hips. He says here, you should lean forward and put your elbows on your knees and enjoy talking, writing, watching TV, etc. It serves to let your enlarged uterus fall freely forward where it belongs instead of tipping backwards where it doesn't belong. Leaning forward bends the bow in the back and loosens the bow strings, her abdominal muscles. So this allows the uterus room to come forward. Some mothers like to put pillows under your hips, and you can do that. I actually sit at my desk or at the kitchen table like this, and I never really thought about why I did that, but it makes so much sense once I read it. It's a comfort position. It allows you to open up, and you can really feel it. I can feel it in the back by my SI joint. Because I am now 38 weeks pregnant, some things are loosening up and tightening up in different ways that I feel different this time from the first 3 pregnancies. So I can feel it really giving that stretch that I need, and it's really comfortable. So this is exercise Number one, believe it or not, do this as much as possible instead of sitting in a chair. If you work at a desk, just cross your legs at the desk so that you can sit there and do your work and open everything up. The second exercise you should do daily is squatting. Super easy exercise that you can get done. Now, if you don't have any kids, Dr. Bradley says the chance of you actually squatting every day is probably 25 times a day versus someone who has little children like myself. They squat, or we squat, over 100 times a day, and I can attest to that. I'm always picking things up. Now, let me just show you really quickly. When you go down to pick things up, Dr. Bradley wants you to go down to pick things up. He doesn't want you bending here and using those back, rounding that back out, because what that does, as he explains in his book, is it pushes your uterus into your back and it's not as natural or comfortable. He wants you to get down, he wants you to stretch those muscles, and he wants you to open those hips up. So squatting, you could do squats every day. So do 100 squats a day challenge, or like a child, you could sit in this squatting position for some time while you're watching TV. Now, if you are not flexible or you have not done this position in a long time, you might feel tightness in your inner thighs or just not have the ability to get this low. Now, if you can't get this low and you want to try to get as deep as possible to try to relax, then grab something. I've got a little yoga block. You can sit on the yoga block, or you can sit on something else that helps you achieve something deeper. Now, when you go deep, you want to allow your belly to come forward. You don't want to lean back, of course. And you're going to want to keep those knees apart and back as much as possible. So here in this kind of position. Now, you don't want to arch and be weird. You just want to relax. So Dr. Bradley says in his book, squatting increases the outlet diameter of the pelvis and reduces your chances of needing a C-section. First, the squatting position is the most effective pushing position during delivery. So he wants you to effectively get into this position and stretch those muscles because it's going to help you with a natural childbirth. Second, it's the physical factor of your legs apart and back actually helps the baby come out easier. So when everything is loose and you can assume this position, whether you're laying down, which is one of the ways he explains how you get into this position, you have that flexibility to be able to do that. So you're strengthening yet stretching muscles all at the same time, which is really incredible. Squatting is so important. So exercise number 3 that Dr. Bradley wants you to do is called pelvis rocking. I will show you that in just a second. So he says pelvis rocking, you're going to do on all fours. We're not going to arch our back. We're going to just rock our pelvis. So the reason you want to do pelvis rocking is so that you reduce the pressure of the ligaments from standing up all the time that hold your uterus in place. When you get down on all fours and we do this pelvis rocking, it is actually going to allow your uterus to fall forward and reduce some of the back pain, but we're also going to be strengthening our back and our core in this position. He recommends doing it if you are anywhere from 0 to 7 months in your pregnancy. He recommends doing this exercise 40 times. So if you're past 7 months, he recommends it 3 times a day, mid-morning, afternoon, and mid-afternoon. Now, if you are getting into the last stages of your pregnancy, he wants you to double it at bedtime. So instead of 40 rocks, you're going to do 80 rocks, then you're going to get into a froggy position, and then you're going to do 80 more, or 80 rocks total, sorry. 40 rocks, froggy position, 40 rocks, and then froggy position, and relax and go to bed. So let me show you the pelvis tilt. you're going to get on all four, two hands, all fours. Get on all fours, hands and knees. Of course, we want to keep our hands under our shoulders for bracing, knees under our hips as much as possible, hip width apart. And he said we're not arching. Now we're going to keep our natural spine just neutral, and we're going to rock or tail wag, he says, kind of like an animal. So tucking the pelvis under and lifting it up. Tuck and lift. Tuck and lift. Now, if you are doing this, engaging your back to pull it up, your butt up, and then engaging that core to pull and tuck your pelvis, I'm telling you, 40, you will feel a slight burn. Now, if you are really, really good at exercising and you've been really at it, you may not feel anything. So just wag, just like this, he says, 40 times, and then doubling it before bed. So you're going to wag 40 times, then you're going to get into the froggy sort of child pose position, feet together, knees up, kind of like how baby sleeps. Push those hips back, put a pillow or your arms under your head, and he wants you to rest here. Allow your lower back to relax, loosen up. Rest as long as you need to rest, he says. Then you're going to get back up and you're going to wag again. So that's doubling it at nighttime. Super simple little exercise. Again, that's exercise number 3. And I'm really impressed how simple these are. So totally doable before bed every night. So the next exercise or relaxation exercise that he mentions is when you finally go to bed, the position that he wants you to sleep in. So it is called the running position. Now, when you're sleeping, you're going to go to your side. So let's say you did all those wags, you did the froggy position. Now you're headed to bed. Dr. Bradley wants you to head to bed on your side, prop those pillows up so you can get nice and comfortable. You're going to bring your top leg all the way up like you're running. You're going to roll into your belly and just kind of let your belly and uterus hang forward. Now, this is supposed to relax it and allow that tension to release, because we all know that laying on our back is not good for mom. So this allows us to relax and get this leg out of the way, get the bottom leg out of the way, get the top leg out of the way, but also to just let the belly fall forward. He says that you can also put a pillow under that knee like so, if you need more of a brace to allow that belly to come forward. So this is the running position, and then you have to decide what to do with your arm, however. But imagine there's pillows here, right? So this is exercise sort of number 4, the running position. You can also do this for relaxation. He talks about that in the book as well. So let's get on to exercise number 5. Almost like crisscross, but the lovely butterfly stretch. I love this stretch. It is so good, especially during pregnancy. So I was so thrilled to see it in here, just as I was thrilled to see the squats in here. Butterfly stretch. Now, you might have to have your husband help you out with this. He wants you to do it about 3 to 10 times a day. Now, for a butterfly stretch, you don't need to sit here all day long. If you are comfortable in this position, as I am, then you can sit here if you'd like to. But what he recommends is that you sit, lean forward a little bit, and have your husband push your knees into the ground. If you can't do it yourself, by 3 seconds, your legs or your knees should go down as far as they possibly can. So say this is here, 1, 2, 3, then you release. Close your knees together, and then you can stand back up and go about your day. So he wants you to do that about 3 to 10 times per day. So you're talking a 3-second exercise. Now for me, when I am in this butterfly position, like I said, I can already feel my SI joint down in my pelvis kind of loosening up already. It's been going on for about a month now, and it's very strange, like I said, because I've never felt that with the boys. But as I do this butterfly stretch and I push my knees down, I can really feel it stretching right in my lower back, upper glute area, and it feels incredible. It feels so, so good that I literally just want to sit here all day and be like, can somebody push this open for me all day long? Because I can really feel that pull, that stretch that I need to just kind of release those muscles. So that is exercise number 5. Super easy. Now, the last exercise I can't actually show you, but it is KEGALS. And we have talked about KEGALS on my channel before and how important they are. I have not made a video yet, and I will, about how to actively do a KEGAL. But KEGALS need to be done regularly, not just because you want to tighten up that muscle. So the reason Dr. Bradley explains why you need to do a KEGAL is because you should deliberately become consciously aware of the difference between tightness when your muscles are tight and looseness of this muscle, so that you can, as he says, have an open door policy to welcome your baby in, because you don't want to be contracting, kegeling, not knowing you're kegeling, and not allowing that baby to just move through the birthing canal, which I thought was a very interesting point, because it's not something I've thought about, when you're in labor, but I guess that could make a difference. So for kegeling, really quickly, I will explain that there are 3, you have to contract all 3 of there's only one pelvic floor muscle, but it's stopping your pee, stopping your poop, and squeezing your vagina. So it's all 3 need to be done. You can't just stop your pee and expect the Kegel to work. You need to go 1, 2, 3, and then you need to pull the muscles up. And once you get a hold of how to actually Kegel, you can do it all the time, but you can also train and teach your body how to fully relax. So you need to know, as Dr. Bradley says, how to fully relax those muscles. So now if you have had a baby before and you've seen some of my postpartum recovery videos, you would know that I mentioned Kegeling, because Kegeling is so important to rebuilding that strength for your pelvic floor after you've had the baby. A lot of women experience prolapse. So it would be good to get to know how to Kegel now before you have the baby. Dr. Bradley does talk about it a little bit in this book of how those muscles get really stretched out and really become kind of numb after you've had the baby, and you have to reestablish that muscle and that strength to regain the function that it's supposed to serve. Now, we don't want to be peeing our pants, and we want to still enjoy intercourse. So those are 2 very, very important factors of getting to know your Kegels. Very important. So those are 6 exercises that you need to do daily, according to Dr. Bradley. And I think those are totally doable, especially if it doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mom or if you're a full-time working lady or a mom, you can absolutely fit these in during your day. Now, the last thing he says is relaxation. He wants you to practice relaxing. So although you're doing these little exercises that seem so simple but have such great benefits, he wants you to actively learn to relax and get into that sleep phase before you go to bed at night. So he talks about that in the book as well. But I thought that those 6 exercises were so important that I needed to share them with you. Now, again, this is my first time reading this book, and I've had 3 natural epidural-free deliveries already. But knowing how my deliveries went, and I was relaxed, and then having a doctor talk about the science behind it and how to go about doing it, it really gave me an aha. So if you're new to delivery and you get a chance to read this and you can perform some of these things, I think it will be so beneficial to you. But if you don't have the chance to read this book and you just want these exercises, they are phenomenal. So go ahead, let's recap again. We've got crisscross sitting, TAILOR sitting, leaning a little bit forward. We've got squatting daily, up and down. Let's try for over 100 a day, and then just kind of sitting in the child squat position if you can during the day. Pelvis rocking on all fours 40 times a day, 1 time a day if you're 0 to 7 months pregnant. After 7 months pregnant, 3 times a day, 40 times each. And then when you hit that bedtime pelvis rocking, he wants you to double it. So 40 times froggy position, 40 times frogging position. And then next exercise is your sleeping or resting position, which is the running position, letting the belly hang forward. And last 2 is butterfly, 3 seconds to push and open up those hips, 3 to 10 times a day, and KEGALS. Being aware, he didn't give a number on KEGALS, so being aware of those muscles, tightening them up, and being aware of loosening them. And so I hope that helps you out. I hope that inspires you, because those are really good, easy exercises that you can do that's supposedly to help with your natural delivery, to make it easier and better. So as always, stay positive, work hard, and God bless. Mahalo for joining me. Aloha.